Hello Wolfpack, short-term Bitcoin update here. I did one this morning as well in Australian time, but we're going to be doing a short-term one. I'm going to start doing these a little bit more often because I think short-terms is quite important to some people as well. And you wouldn't watch YouTube videos every day if you didn't care about short-term price action. That's just the objective reality of a situation. And so even though I think short-term price action should take a back seat in most people's trading and investing journeys, because I don't think most people are meant to be traders, right? I think that if the people want it, I'm going to give it to them. And we're going to be looking at the short-term price action very briefly. Obviously, there's not too much to talk about in the short term, but we'll look into it right now. What we're seeing on Bitcoin currently is a big cup formation, okay? Big cup formation, which we've seen a rounding bottom, and we love seeing rounding bottoms on Bitcoin and any other asset in a financial market and technical analysis. A rounding bottom is a very bullish sign because what you see usually after a rounding bottom is a continuation to the upside. And we saw that on coins like Solana, coins like Luna, basically every single altcoin that actually went up parabolically from the July correction or the May to July correction all the way through to September. They all had these massive cup formations, and obviously on a shorter time frame, that doesn't make any difference, right? Cup formations are still the same. They're still very bullish patterns. Now, usually what you see in a cup formation is a cup and handle formation. And so what we could see on Bitcoin is this cup formation. We could see a small downwards trend in which we enter a handle, bounce around for a bit, then break to the upside. That's a very strong possibility. It could very well happen. However, right, so that's the bullish case. And people would say that through this cup formation, if we switch over the 4-hourly chart, through this cup formation, we're going to be re-entering this higher range here that we were in earlier in the month or in December as well, which is between 52K, right, and between 45.5K. That was a range we were in for about a month, right? A long period of time between early December and late December, early January. So between 52K and between 45.5K. So what people would be assuming from this point is that we're going to be entering this cup and handle formation and jump back above into this range and start raging again. That is what the bulls are calling for right now. I am not personally seeing that on the charts. This is my personal opinion, right? And when it comes to short-term price action, it does get a little bit iffy as to whether you're going to be correct. But what I'm saying is, right, is that Bitcoin, in my opinion, is in this cup formation, but it's also just broken to the downside of an ascending triangle formation that we have here, this red ascending wedge formation, And as you guys would know, ascending wedge formations are typically bearish patterns. We broke it to the downside, and now we're just scalping around, kind of lurking in the same region. Some people would take this as an invalidation. I would take this as a rejection, okay? And what we're seeing right now as well, as we are scalping, or as we are just kind of moving along, trotting along in this region right next to the wedge we just broke downwards out of, we are seeing strongly descending volume on the hourly time frame, right? Extremely fast descending volume, in which we're seeing basically no volume coming from Bitcoin, which means that no one is willing to buy in this region. And if no one's willing to buy, we're not going to go higher, right? We're also seeing a bearish divergence on the 1 hourly chart. And to counteract that, we're seeing a bullish MACD cross coming in. However, I am skeptical as to whether we will actually see that play out, because in order for that to play out, we would have to close above, say, 44.5K. And I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so I would kind of label this whole thing as a fake out. I don't think we're going to go up here on Bitcoin. And if we do, right, and there is obviously a possibility that I'm wrong, and I could be wrong very well. And if we do go up here on Bitcoin, okay, I don't think it's going to be sustained, because ultimately I think that unless we get back over 53K, we are in bear market territory. What we're seeing on the 1 day time frame, this is just to get a good idea of the volume right now. We are about halfway through this daily candle, and the volume is abysmal, right? Say, for example, this daily candle finishes, we double what we're at right now, we'd still be significantly lower than what we were at yesterday, the day before that, and the day before that, which means that the volume is descending in an upwards trend, and that is typically a bearish kind of indicator. When volume descends in an upwards trend, almost certainly leads to that trend not continuing. And this is kind of my speculation. I know I just said before that I don't think we're going to be closing above 44.5K. I'm going to make that more precise, because there are many events that could happen that could easily push us to that point. That's only like literally 1% away. I would say that I don't think Bitcoin is going to be closing any candles on any kind of meaningful time frame above 45.5K. 45.5K is the clear resistance on Bitcoin. We could very well go above 44.4K, right? 44.5K. That's not very far away. And the bearish divergence could continue to play out for an extensive period of time. I think that on Bitcoin, we're either going to see something like this, where we scalp up and reject from that region, right, and head back down, or we're just going to drop from this region here back into this green zone, which is between 42k and 40k. So ultimately, I think this little bounce here will not be sustained. I think we have more consolidation to do. I think the highest we'll get on this small bounce is 45.5k based on what I'm seeing right now. And I think that even if I'm wrong there, even if I'm wrong and we break above 45.5k, there is still enough evidence I'm seeing on the charts for me to believe that we won't be actually making any meaningful progress. In order to make meaningful progress, we would need to break above 53k. At that point, I would be bullish in the market. I would admit that my bear market prediction, well, to an extent was wrong, because I can't say it's wrong fully, because I've been bearish in 63k, so I'd still save myself an extensive amount of money. However, I would have to concede that the rest of my bear market prediction was incorrect. But ultimately, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to stay below 53k. I think the best case scenario in the next couple of days for Bitcoin is to come back up to 45.5k. Test that again. We'll probably reject off of it. Even if we go above it, I don't think it's going to lead to much. It will just be a dead cat bounce as usual, as we usually see in the market. What I will say is that we are due for a meaningful dead cat bounce. Okay. So even though I've just said I think we're going to reject from 45.5k, I still think that's the case based off of technicals. But if I was to bring out my more speculative mind, I would say, hey, this downwards trend's been going for a long time, right? Since early November. It's been about 2 months straight, almost 2.5 months, and we haven't had a meaningful dead cat bounce. I would be inclined to believe that we need to be seeing a meaningful dead cat bounce before we drop below 40k. That is my inclination. However, I'm going off of technical analysis, not off speculation. And what I'm seeing on the technical analysis is that this current rally we are seeing is not strong. It's not supported by many buyers, and it doesn't look like it's actually going to break for anything. So whether we actually break upwards or not, I still think it's going to be bearish. But I think that ultimately this, on the shorter term time frame, as this video is about, I don't think that this rally is going to lead to too much. Best case scenario, it will probably take us up to 45.5k, and I think that we'll reject from that region. Let's see how it goes. There's a lot of resistance above for Bitcoin. There's also a lot of support below. I think that more consolidation is needed. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.